Hello once again, and welcome to today's webinar. We are going to be talking about the DP launch and actually our new ActiveProtect series, which is maybe some of you already know, some of you are familiar with it, which is our actually new and exclusive pillar for data protection. So let me share today's slides as well, and then we can get right into it. So for you who don't know me, my name is Ismar Hot. I am the team manager at Synology, and I'll be your host for today. And the agenda is going to cover the three main parts. So we will present to you what is actually ActiveProtect and what are ActiveProtect appliances. Then you'll have a chance to see the current DP models and some of their key features. So as some of you know, they've actually been launched officially in the European market yesterday. And then throughout the presentation, you'll have a chance to learn about some unique selling points of these devices. So actually, what is ActiveProtect and why do we call this ActiveProtect appliance? So the term ActiveProtect was firstly introduced by Synology during the Synology exhibition days in Taiwan that took place last year in June. And this was the announcement of this brand new pillar for protection solutions. So today's webinar is actually here to explain to you why we are doing this. And before I go deeper into this topic, I would like to kick it off with an introductory video that will actually cover today's agenda, and it'll show you what are these new actually devices about and what is ActiveProtect as the new Synology pillar all about. So here you go.
Introducing the ActiveProtect appliance, designed specifically for enterprise data security, efficient backup, and scalability. The ActiveProtect appliance comes pre-configured with all the essential data protection components. Deployment is simplified and ensures optimal performance right out of the box. For enhanced stability, it includes redundant power supplies and dual data ports. Plus, the management port allows for network segmentation, enabling secure remote debugging and an added security layer. ActiveProtect appliance can protect your data within minutes. With ActiveProtect Manager, a backup-focused operating system, the appliance offers cyber-resilient data protection. Leveraging auto protection, both existing and new workloads are automatically detected and protected, greatly reducing your management loading. To ensure data integrity, Synology utilizes write once, read many technology to prevent malicious modifications through the data retention cycle. At the same time, network and physical isolation technologies can be utilized to provide advanced security, meeting the strictest enterprise compliance requirements. In case a disaster happened to your source, restorations can be performed immediately at any point from the local appliance or from remote appliance directly. The ActiveProtect appliance uses source-side global deduplication technology. This approach eliminates duplicate data at the source, transmitting only the differences, even when backing up across multiple sites to an offsite appliance. This feature reduces duplicate data transmission traffic up to 99% and over 50% of the storage costs. The ActiveProtect appliance is built to scale with your growing needs. Whether you have increasing data volumes, are expanding to new locations, or are adding remote sites, this solution adapts seamlessly to your evolving business environment. One of the appliances could be the cluster controller, which manages the whole cluster. A single cluster can support up to 2,500 source servers and up to 150,000 workloads. The cluster controller can delegate any other appliance as a failover server. When a disaster strikes, the failover server can take over the management ability as the new cluster controller, ensuring that the cluster maintains its functionality. simple management, outstanding performance, reliable restorations. Secure your data. Scale your business with the ActiveProtect appliance.
All right, so actually you had a chance to see basically in 2-minute video what these new appliances are about. But like I said, the real reason behind this is because actually we at Synology have grown so much, not only as a company, but in terms of who we support, in terms of doing the backups, that at the moment we have reached a milestone where over 20 million devices and SaaS accounts are actually backed up with the help of Synology products. Therefore, the topic of data security and data protection is really gaining importance for us. And this is not just because of some measures that are imposed, such as for you guys who are from the EU, the NIS2, but actually because of two major threats that are currently attacking the IT critical infrastructure, and they come in form of data breaches and ransomware attacks. So some studies have shown, for example, a study by Bitkom from September in 2024, that out of around 1,000 surveyed companies, 60% of them stated that in the last 12 months of their work, they were victims of certain ransomware attacks. And about every 8 company out of the surveyed companies who were attacked stated that they actually paid some form of ransom to get back their data. So this actually shows us that there's a really big need for reliable data protection. And this currently tremendous demand for reliable backup solutions is something that Synology is trying to answer to. And so far, we've had comprehensive and reliable data protection solutions, but we would like to bring it to a next level and actually offer this also for large-scale deployments. And this is, in fact, why we have developed a new pillar in our portfolio called ActiveProtect. And within this pillar, we have these ActiveProtect appliances, and the first 3 devices that actually have come out is the data protection series. And in the following slide, you can see the currently available models. So we have the bigger unit, the DP 7400, and then the 2 smaller desktop units, DP 320 and DP 340. So with these devices, you can actually secure a whole range of different workloads. So we can do it from devices and services. So this includes software as a service, virtual machines, servers, PC clients, Mac OS clients, and also other than file servers. For the very first time, we can also back up databases such as those from Oracle or Microsoft SQL Server. And then with these secure workloads, you can also, like before with ABB, create a second step. And through this integrated platform, you can actually automatically create external backups. So we are still able to fulfill the 3-2-1 backup rule, which stipulates 3 copies on 2 different medium, where at least one of these should be in an external location, because you can also do external backups to other than active backup appliances, to object storage cloud services such as C2 Object Storage or Amazon S3, or you can also use another Synology NAS model. Now, this doesn't just stop there, because you can also apply the DP policy, so the new backup policy, to a different location, set of locations, so to some remote location in the most efficient way. And if some of you may be wondering, what if I already have running backup deployment on a Synology NAS? For example, you have a backup that is somewhere placed on a NAS through Active Backup for Business. The answer is quite simple. If you have a NAS running ABB, you can control it through a DP device as well. So NAS systems that have running Active Backup deployment can also be connected. And what is now the difference is that you can do multi-site management that you also saw in the video. So at the moment, our limit is 2,500 site backup servers or 150,000 devices or SaaS accounts. So if we would take our data protection philosophy and set of apps and our existing portfolio, what it looks like at the moment is that we have our backup applications, our DSM and Synology NAS, and on the other side you have C2 backup to do remote site backup. Now, as a big addition to our existing portfolio, we are adding ActiveProtect DP appliances. And on top of that, our new operating system is going to be called ActiveProtect Manager. So this new ActiveProtect devices are actually precisely customized by us for the purposes of data protection. And what does this mean? Well, essentially this means, as you might have seen it also in the video, that all of the components, so this means including your HDDs, including RAM, network interfaces, they are all already pre-specified in the device itself. By doing this, we are actually able to guarantee this next level of optimization and performance, because all of the CPU, the memory drives, whether they are HDDs or SSDs, all the components are made in such way by us and pre-specified that we guarantee backups within a certain guaranteed time frame, which was pre-specified by us. On top of that, as you already saw, each data protection appliance now also comes with the management port, and I think this will be particularly interesting to the system admins. So when it comes to the whole lineup, the DP series in the future is going to include a wider range of models, but what you can see in this slide is the currently available models. So we have the two desktop models, the DP320, which is a 2-bay, the DP340, which is a 4-bay, and the 2U rack model, the DP7400. In this slide, you can see some important highlighted features. So we can do a short comparison. So what is the most important thing for you to take from today is that only DP7400 has the role of a controller. So if you would like to control and deploy the entire setup across, you can only do so with DP7400, whereas the smaller desktop units are only acting as followers. As you can see, the smaller units are, of course, desktop models, devices, which you can see already from how they look, from their physical form factor. And the DP7400 is a 2U rack device. The usable storage that comes on these devices, on DP320, it's 8 terabytes, on DP340, it's 24 terabytes, whereas on DP7400, it's 140 terabytes. Of course, the 2-bay model can only do RAID 1, whereas the 4-bay model can do RAID 5, and the rack model is running in RAID 6 plus 1 spare. The desktop model from DP340 and the DP7400 rack model also has SSD cache, and here you can also see the RAM memory. So the smaller 2-bay model comes with 8 gigs, the 4-bay model comes with 16 gigs, whereas the rack model comes with 64 gigs. It has concurrent built-in VMs, so the smaller devices come with 1 and 2 respectively, whereas the bigger one has 9. And you can see the network interface. So the small device comes only with two 1 gig ports, whereas the DP340 comes with one management port of 1 gig and one 10 gig port. The DP7400 comes with two 10 gig ports for data transfer and one 1 gig port for management. The warranty on the desktop models is 3 years, whereas on the bigger model, the rack model, it's 5 years. Another important thing that you should keep in mind is the product naming. So it has been changed, and it actually follows the naming structure similar to the current SA series. So DP stands for data protection, of course. The first 2 digit, depending on how many digits you have in the model, stands for the form factor. So 3 means it's a desktop model. Then the second number is the CPU strength or the capacity level, whereas the last digit is for generation. So keep in mind 0 stands for generation 1. When we talk about the bigger models that have 4 digits in them, then in that case, it's somewhat different. So the first digit, again, is for form factor. The second digit is for CPU and capacity level. The third digit, so second last digit, is for generation, whereas the last digit is reserved for perhaps some smaller changes that could take effect in the successor models. Like I said, and like you saw in the video, the devices are preloaded. So out of the box, you receive all the necessary equipment to get things going. So you receive the cables for the power. You receive the 2.5-inch screws for your 2.5-inch SSDs. And you also receive the SSDs and the HDDs, as well as the 3.5-inch screws for your HDDs. What is not included and what can be additionally purchased is the network interface cards, which I'll show you in the next slide, and also the rail kits are not included in the rack model. When it comes to the accessory list and what is compatible, as you can see in the DP320 and DP340, you have the HAT 3000 series 8 terabyte drives, and the DP7400 comes with HAT 5000 20 terabyte drives. Because DP320 doesn't support SSD cache, of course, this is not available then, but for DP340, you can have SNV 3410 400 gig SSD NVMe cards, and the DP7400 comes with SATA 5000 series 3.84 terabyte drives. You can also see the RAM that is included in these devices. So in the smaller units, in the 2-bay, you have the 4 gig DDR4 RAM, and in the bigger 4-bay, it's the 8 gig DDR4 RAM, whereas the 2U, the rack model, has 32 gig DDR4 RAM. When it comes to the network interface cards, the 4-bay model accepts the Synology E10 mini card, whereas the DP7400 accepts the the 25 gig Synology card or the 10 gig Synology card. Rail kits, of course, are not available for the desktop unit, but they are available for the rack series. Now, as I said, ActiveProtect comes with some unique selling features, and we have broken it down into these 3 categories. We believe that the unique selling features of all our new ActiveProtect devices is going to be easy setup, high performance, and reliable recovery. So when it comes to the DP in particular, so the first initial setup is actually what we guarantee, and that you will be able to run the first installation and setup within 10 minutes. and that within 15 minutes you will be able to run your first backups. When it comes to high performance, due to the fact that we have out of the box our hardware and our optimized software, we can actually guarantee things such as optimized memory allocation, as you saw, source size deduplication. We also have ability to run immutable backups, and we also have new, for Synology, new feature, which is an air gap function. Also, what is important to mention is that we have very reliable recovery, and we have features such as warm technology that was mentioned in the video, but I would also suggest to those who are interested to hear more about warm to revisit some of our older webinars where we talked in more detail about this technology. And when it comes to air gap function, what this means is that we will now enable companies to schedule and isolate specific backup servers. So there will be 3 isolation options. You'll be able to block inbound traffic through a firewall. You'll be able to deactivate network cards, and you'll be able to switch off remotely your hardware, which is one of the features that was really sought after. And we know that from very high feature requests that came in that form. So depending on your needs, you'll be able to choose from these 3 different policies that best suit you. Finally, when it comes to the recovery options, of course, there will be file-based recovery options. So like before, you will be able to recover folders and files through the recovery portal. There will be also an option to recover the entire system where bare metal is going to be possible via any recovery medium, and then immediate recovery via VM, which can be done through using one of the common hypervisors. Another interesting feature is that there will be integrated sandboxing environment, which will allow you to test things on your server. So for today, we'll stop at that, and I would like to also announce that other than the Q&A, and you can actually ask your questions now, I want to direct you to some information about the raffle. So there will be 2 giveaways from the webinar today. So one lucky winner is going to receive a B drive, and there will be also a possibility for one of the resellers to actually also receive 1 SIT from us. And how this is going to work is that after the webinar, all of the participants who took part today are going to receive a survey from our marketing team, and you'll be asked, it's a very short survey, you'll be asked 3 to 4 questions, and those who fill out the survey are actually then part of the raffle, and via random selector, 1 person will receive a B drive, and 1 reseller is also going to be entitled to participate in the upcoming SIT. So the SIT for the English SIT for the different markets is going to be available in February. So you can also reach out to us for more information. Last but not least, today's webinar was recorded. It'll be published on our YouTube, and there will also be follow-up emails sent to the participants. So I have a question about the RAM. So actually, I would not be able to really fully answer this question, but I'm sure that the product developers could. So I'll take your question and I'll actually check with their choice and the reasons they went with this RAM. So with that, I'm going to wrap up the session for today is I don't see any more questions. And I would like to also announce that there will be 2 more webinars about ActiveProtect appliances. One will be in February and one will be in March. In these 2 sessions, we are going to actually show more of the operating system, and you'll have a chance to become more familiar with its functions. So I wish you a pleasant rest of the day, and thank you very much for your time and for your efforts to join us today. See you in the next one.